And now, from the Marquee Media Studio inside Mark Tank, it's the Mark Haney Show.
Today's going to be a fun show. We have Shelly Martell. She is the founder of Hearts for Heroes, and she's brought along with her Battalion Chief Jamie Pepin. And you work for the city of Roseville, right, Jamie?
Correct. City of Roseville Fire Department.
City of Roseville Fire Department. And Shelly, you founded this organization. Tell me why this organization exists and what problem are you solving?
You know, this one is near and dear to our hearts for our first responder family as a wife of a first responder for over 40 years. And really, this is about solidarity to all of our brothers and sisters on the front line. We were able to really see a need that needed to happen for mental health and wellness. And one of those came to us basically with the Paw Platoon Placement Program, which my husband and I started. He's a paramedic out in Richmond County, Richmond Fire Department in Cocoa County, I guess I should say that. And, you know, we lost our dog through some traumatic experiences, and it was extremely hard on my husband when that happened. And when we saw that happen, we knew that this could be a beautiful way to pay it forward for mental health. And so we really never looked back, and it's just really, really doing well.
And the focus is first responders. Jamie,
Fire.
Tell me about the breadth of that.
Sure.
First responders, firefighters are one aspect of it, but it's broader than that, isn't it?
It is. I think first responders also includes our EMT partners, paramedics, law enforcement, of course. Through COVID, I think nurses have certainly been recognized for their efforts on the front lines as well. So it is all encompassing. And we have seen the dogs get placed in fire departments, we've also seen police departments wanting to do that as well. We know there's dogs in the hospitals already, so it really is growing to be more than just fire.
Okay, well, I want to talk a little bit about the entire organization, but let's dive into the mental health side of things and what dogs do, what animals can do, what service dogs can do. You brought on, I'm calling him Amstel Light, high energy dog over here to my right.
Yes, correct.
It's a poodle. He's a poodle. Mm-hmm. And so when we get a dog, what kind of change happens to us, the people that are going through maybe a difficult time?
So one of the biggest things that this helps do is reduce anxiety and stress. When a dog's able to work a room and be able to just fundamentally, like if we have Amstel off right now, he'll come over to whoever's really feeling anxious, and it will probably be me because I'm on your show.
Oh, really? So it could be anybody. It doesn't matter. Okay,
yeah. So they know to work the room, right?
Interesting.
And they know.
Are you saying all dogs do that, or they're trained specifically to sort of work a room?
Most all dogs have that innately in them, but the truth is working the dog for therapy is a big ask. The way we have to work our dogs, what we need to do for our dogs to get them ready for, especially a firehouse. For instance, there's a lot of chaos, right? There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of distraction, running parts, people going, they're running out the door, right? Mm-hmm. To run in when everyone's running out. So there's a lot of that going on that they are alert to. They also go and crate themselves when, the signals go off and things like that. Okay. Or sometimes they are literally going out on the call.
So these are dogs that live at the firehouse versus the firefighter or the paramedic taking the dog home as their companion.
They actually do both.
Okay.
So they have a handler that they live with. So that is their companion canine. But they go to the shifts and to the departments when they are working. And it really depends on whether it's a firefighter or a battalion chief or a chief. We have multiple chiefs that are doing this program with us. We have Dignity Health CEO doing the program. She brings the dog to work. Yep.
The Dignity Health CEOs bring the dog to work.
That's correct. Little cinders. Yeah, they have little cinders there. So, and our dogs are for the staff, so to speak, right? They're for the fire crew. They do go out in the community, and they are very well received with what they bring into the community. But they definitely are there, mental health and wellness for the crews.
And then, so let's talk about the change that they feel. So I could see morale, everybody rallies around the dog. I was talking to you guys earlier about, we bought dogs I think everybody bought dogs or acquired dogs somehow during COVID, right? It's like everybody got a dog, everybody got outdoor equipment. We got labs for the for each of our families in our group. And they've made a really cool impact on our entire family in terms of almost bringing us together around the dogs, which is I have adult children, and we're all kind of coming together around these labs.
True.
What does it do? You mentioned the firehouse. I'm trying to picture what that's like. So does one person sort of own the dog and then the rest don't worry about it, or everybody sort of is brought together with the dog?
When it's a firehouse, it definitely becomes community of that firehouse and that station and that department.
Mm-hmm.
However, Hearts for Heroes is a partner with the department. So we own the dogs. We fully raise funds for the dog to place the dog, so that there is no money that the departments have to pay for. Budgets are already so tight. We don't want that to be a factor. We fully also raise funds for them to be completely insured. So the department is insured, the handler's insured. Hearts for Heroes has a large, umbrella program for that to be able to happen.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So Jamie, what kind of change have you seen in terms of how it might affect Roseville firefighters?
Sure. Like you said, it's a big morale booster for our department to have the dog in the station. It's a little piece of home. We spend so many hours away from home with our schedule. We work 48, 72, 96, up to 120 hours a week. So most of us have pets at home, and it's we can't bring them to work, but to come to work and have the animal there is nice. The other benefit I have seen many times, it's an icebreaker. We use these dogs as part of our peer support team and our peer support program. For instance, we had a critical incident stress debriefing not too long ago after the active shooter incident we had. I'm sure you saw in the news.
Just the recent one.
The recent one.
That was our dogs.
So we brought the dogs into the critical incident stress debriefing, and as you first are kind of forming as a group before, there's an awkwardness to it, and the dogs are really a great icebreaker. And I saw a couple instances where there was some tension between folks just because of the gravity of the situation that we were there to discuss, and the dogs really become a focal point and something to talk about and focus on. Not unlike when we first walked in, it's easy to immediately focus and go right to the dog, right? You did it here yourself.
Yeah, it's disarming in a way, especially you see a friendly dog. You can tell the dog's friendly at a glance, and the dog's, it feels good. Yeah, it's disarming.
It gives you that comfort, and
I hear it's a great way to pick up women too, pick up chicks. I'm married, but no, you see that, and I say that
puppies
jokingly,
are good for
totally
that.
jokingly, but it's like you have a baby or a puppy, a friendly dog or something like that. It's like it is disarming. We all want to go, pet the dog or be nice. Even little kids want to do that.
And that's why we like bringing the dogs to our community events. Everyone's drawn to the dogs and gets the ability to interact with them in a positive way. It isn't just for the firefighters; it's for the community as well, because of all the involvement that we have in our local events.
Firefighters, police officers, paramedics. I mean, kind of give me a little bit of a sense as to what is the most, seeing an active shooter or seeing something horrific. Tell me just a little bit about the kinds of things that you all see, so we can kind of put ourselves in that, in that kind of fear or that kind of stress.
Sure. We see some very ugly things, and we work a 30-year career, and that those things take their toll. Children that are hurt, those high stress incidents like the active shooter, those kind of things. We see people at their worst every day. That's our job, and it really does take a toll on our mental health. And when I first started in the fire service 24 years ago, it was a badge of honor to be able to just hold all that in and to not have any reaction to the things that you see. And that's very unhealthy. We know now. We know better now. So, about 10 years ago, there was a big shift in the industry to really make mental health a focus. We had more firefighters die by suicide than in the line of duty at that period of time. And that was a real turning point in our industry to say, hey, we have a real problem here and we need to look at it. So we've changed our focus completely the opposite, where we talk about our mental health. We talk about counseling and therapy, and we integrating the dogs into the station, and the peer support team and programs and things we do now is so exponentially better for our mental health and for our profession. It's really come quite a long way, and what Shelly's doing with Hearts for Heroes is a big part of that.
Well, as you and I talked a little bit, my wife was the HR director of the city of Roseville, so she negotiated against you, I think, because you were with the union. But also thinking about, we talked a lot over the last 30, 40 years about life expectancies in these high stress jobs, right? Some of you guys die earlier on average than in other occupations because of the stress.
Yeah, we always, every time you walk onto the property of the station, there's this underlying sense of anticipation and a chronic stress there. And that's when we're just doing the dishes or, in the station, let alone when we every day, you see in the news, especially in this area, there's a critical incident every single day, multiple times a day. It really does take a big toll.
And this is a poodle. Did you want to add something to that?
I completely, everything that he's saying is just exactly why we started the foundation, and knowing that it's okay to not be okay. And we need to find ways to break those walls down to help them. That's the number one priority. Like, I am just, I want everyone to succeed, to find ways through counseling, through, pet therapy, things like that can help with any of that. So I'm always happy to partner with any other programs that are looking to, help fund those needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very much.
Now you have a poodle over here, and you were saying that poodle's not necessarily the go-to. How do you decide on what breed of dog to be in these kind of environments?
So I'm really grateful that you're saying that. I love all dogs. We love all dogs, all levels of dogs. But what we found in people coming to us, different departments coming to us, some of the things that came up that were very important to them were hyperallergenic.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No shedding.
No shedding, yeah. My labs shed like crazy.
And they have equipment and tools to keep, So we need to be, really paying attention to those types of things. So we started doing Bernedoodles, Labradoodles, and Golden Doodles. Now, Amstel's the first poodle. Our trainer is the one that found him and said he's got some really good characteristics for the program. So let's give him a try, and that's what we've been doing.
And he's like 50 pounds, 60 pounds.
Yep. Yeah, about 50 pounds. So we do, minis are a good size too, which is about a 30-pound to a 50-pound dog. We have heard from a lot of the departments they like a little bit of a bigger dog. They want to have fun and pet the dog, but chase, they have just like Jamie was saying, it's like it's home, away from home.
Yeah.
So if you ever see any of our feeds, you'll see the guys playing with the dog. You'll see that dog taking off and running
and stuff like that. Yeah, like my dog will fetch till it drops in 100-degree weather. It doesn't care. Right. We're gonna go jump in the creek. It's like it'll keep going. So
right.
So I can see the high energy in your poodle, which really reminds me of our labs.
Yeah.
But that's a 1-year-old. What age seems to be most appropriate when they can sort of be put in that environment? Because a 1-year-old is a little more high energy than 3 or 4-year-olds.
So typically, and I love that you're going into this, the reason why we start them as a puppy as young as 8 weeks into the program, literally, is so that it's a natural state and place for them.
Okay.
Having a rescue at this time, the rescues are great. I don't want to get in trouble for that. But my point is, the dogs need to acclimate at a very young age. So socialization and awareness of their environment is huge. Just like humans, if you're pushed into something later in life, you may have triggers over that. Mm-hmm. That may be hard in your anxiety level. That's kind of what you're seeing with the Amstel, right? He's a rescue. He's older. He didn't go through the program as a puppy. So he's trying to figure it out, and we're trying to see, is he going to make it? Is he going to be able to handle that? Is he going to get to a place where he can be calm, still have fun, and go be a dog?
Yeah.
But listen to the commands, do what we need to have done at a house.
Yeah.
So we do start them as young as 8 weeks.
He seems like he's on track. You told him to sit. He's sad. He's like he's just walking into an office, walking into.
He's better
podcasts.
now.
Yeah.
You look over there. He's kind of hanging now.
Yeah, look at him. He knows we're talking about him.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Okay, so let's talk about the broader organization. So dogs are a major component of it,
They
but we
are.
talked about Movember and mustaches, and you guys do events. Give me a little bit more of the broader overview of the organization.
Well, our organization was really, again, founded on solidarity within the fire department and EMS, and that's just, a passionate family that made this grow. And so we work with the Firefighter Burn Institute with Joe Pick. We love what they're doing over there with the kids and adults and civilians for that matter, especially when it comes to our firefighters that get injured. We really want to find ways to help raise funds for that, take care of the family, so it's important to us. Another program is that we go out with the Burn Institute and we'll bring our dogs there sometimes for community events, which has been hugely and widely received as something that has really, really made a difference for them. So that's been wonderful. Movember is near and dear to our heart because it's a really good time for us to all to get together at the golf tournaments and have a really good time.
Yeah, and Jamie doesn't have a mustache. I thought all firefighters had mustaches, and he saves it up for November apparently.
Yes.
But the rest of your team seems to always have a mustache.
Yeah, much to my wife's dismay, I have one once a year for a small period of time. But,
She doesn't
it's
want
a
you to have the
non-starter
mustache.
at home. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Do you know where that Movember mustache thing came from originally? It actually came from Australia.
Yes.
Yeah, you already knew that. So I read that in a book, some business book about like how things catch on. I think it was called Contagious, and it started I think by firefighters in Australia.
Yeah.
Just like our bagpipes there in England.
No, it's
So,
it's a neat event. I was joking around earlier. A lot of our guys start earlier and then November.
They cheat.
They cheat.
Yeah,
They try to get a
October
head start. But
Yeah.
for the purists that do it for the month, it's a fun event. It brings a lot of
Yeah.
awareness. So.
I wonder that's
Great
not
awareness.
a pre-qualification to get on the team. It's just like, hey, you got to be able to grow a mustache because some people can't grow a mustache very
some
well.
can't. I'm probably in that category a little bit
My
myself.
husband
So
too. Yeah. he
thankfully,
cannot.
it's not. No.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so what else do we need to know about you and what you're doing that we need to share with our audience?
Well, we have a lot of great fundraisers coming up that we're doing to bring more awareness to the communities, bring more awareness to the departments that are maybe looking for another resource for mental health and wellness, opportunities to work with us. We have a gala coming up that sells out really fast in May, so that's already been, redone with the Roseville Fire Department, and it's a wonderful night. And the way we see that is it's a great night to give back to them, so we make it very prestige and honorable and very VIP, but a very good time.
That's
so we have
great.
that coming up in May 10th.
Okay, great.
We were asked by the Sacramento Kings to do a fundraiser with them, so that will probably be February, and that will be our Heroes Day for first responders. That's super exciting. We have fun things coming up like Scipollini's Pizza, the July 27th. We have over here in Rockland, we have a fundraiser for them. We started a new program for the Pink Red Line ladies, and that's, spouses of firefighters getting together and basically the wives getting together to raise money for different programs under the umbrella of Hearts for Heroes and things that we can pay it forward to.
I'm glad you brought that up because Movember, we didn't go deep on the Movember thing. That's actually a serious issue with firefighters and people that are having to breathe in smoke and the risk of cancer or different kinds of diseases, heart problems, that kind of thing. And predominantly, men is where I think it started, but you've got spouses and you've got women doing this stuff too. So maybe give us, do you have any sense as to the extra risk factor for men or for firefighters in general from breathing in smoke and all this other crap that you guys have to bring in?
Yeah, we undoubtedly have a higher risk of cancer. We have a higher risk of heart disease, heart attack. Many of the line of duty deaths that occur are a result of heart attack from the chronic stress, from the heat, putting on all the gear in the 109 degree days like we've had these last few days. So the job takes a physical and mental toll on us different than many other professions. That's just the reality of the nature of the work that we do. And that's certainly those stressors bleeds over into our home, and it isn't impacting just me, but my wife and my family, especially when we fall ill or our careers or lives are cut short because of it. So having that support system for not just us, but extending it to our families is critical as well.
Yeah. A lot of us have a bad day in, small business, and it can feel bad. And you bring it home, but you see the stuff that you guys are seeing, get involved, and you're hands-on, and it's like that's a whole nother level of a bad day or a bad year.
Right. Yeah, and it's very hard to turn that off when you go home, right? Yeah. We have a bad day at work, something's bothering us. We don't want to bring it home, and oftentimes we're reluctant to share those kind of things with our family, but they can tell that something is wrong.
You have like a code word or something you do so your wife and children know, hey, this is Dad needs his space or whatever he needs.
I've definitely gotten better at communicating. I don't always say what it is because we often have this want to protect them from the details, but I think it's a healthy practice to say, hey, I had a bad day. Yeah. That's kind of all I need to say, and I need a little bit of space to recover from that. So.
Are you under, because you guys are applying medical care to people, are you under like HIPAA laws and stuff like that too, where you have confidentiality? We are, yeah. So the majority of the firefighters in Roseville are paramedics. We provide advanced life support service. So, we can share without violating anybody's HIPAA some of the details of what we've encountered. But that certainly is a factor. We have to be careful about that. And, it's also tough, they'll see things in the news and realize, oh, you were there for that. Some of it's hard to hide. So I've learned it's better to just say something that, hey, I've had a bad day. I need a minute. So. Well, it looks like Amstel is having a good day. He's getting serious over here. Well, look, let's just, in closing thoughts, I want to make sure that each of you have a chance to sort of share maybe some overarching thoughts on the organization and maybe what the rest of us can do to support. Maybe there's a place to go to understand more. So, do you want to start with that?
Yeah,
Jamie?
I would just like to give some credit to Shelly and Bruce, her husband, for the amazing work they're doing, and just share how much it has directly impacted our department and our members in such a positive way. We feel so fortunate to have found Shelly and Hearts for Heroes and be able to incorporate them into our fire department family. Blaze is the canine that we're getting to be a member of our team. So I just can't say enough about how important the work she's doing is to help us have an outlet in the station, have more awareness towards the importance of our mental health. And I really think that's, why I wanted to be here today, for your audience to understand the things that we go through and that we see are difficult. But when we get the support through these kind of programs, to have these kind of tools, it really is helpful and it really is healing for us. And so I just want to thank Shelly for everything she's done, and thank you for bringing me on today to bring a little bit of awareness to what we're doing.
You betcha. So Shelly, I'll give you and Amstel the last word. Amstel's back over by the mic. Does Amstel speak at all?
He does, but we do try to keep them quiet so they're not keeping up the crew at night when we get on paper.
So you get the last word. So grab that mic and give us some closing thoughts, and you have the last word.
Yeah, what I really want to thank you, first of all, for having us. Thank you so much. And of course, reaching out to Jamie and the Roseville Fire Department for stepping up and seeing that this needs to happen. And there's other ways to bridge for mental health for our first responders. So it's just, again, really a great opportunity for us to be able to be community-based. We are growing leaps and bounds. We're going to be placing up 3 more dogs in September. But we're just really grateful for how fast we've grown. I mean, we're a foundation of 1.5 years, and we're one of the fastest growing dog placements in kind of the nation at the moment, we keep hearing, because everyone's calling us all over multiple states. And we're very open to saying this is what we're doing and how we're doing it, either to help them start their own or kind of partner with us and let us help them, get the first one off the ground or what have you in different states, just because it's harder to kind of get all those dogs moving parts. And we want again, the care of the animal as well is super important to us.
That's great. So it's Hearts for Heroes, and the website, I Googled
Hearts for
Hearts
Heroes
for
USA.
Heroes. Yeah, Hearts for Heroes USA. It comes right up when you try to Google it.
Thank
it's
you.
Hearts and then the number 4 Heroes.
Do you want to know what that stands for?
Yes.
Okay. So the number 4 is very significant for us for the 4 divisions of fire, considering firefighters, EMS, CAL FIRE, things like that, in our 4-legged fur babies.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. The 4 words my husband said when we started our program and lost our dog Scooby-Doo, which was, he was my therapy. And it was extremely, see, you can get this on that. He's panting here to say hi. That's him saying hi.
Yes, so, that's not Shelly breathing hard on the mic. That's Amstel.
Yeah, so it's super important to us, everything that we pick. And the paw platoon, my husband served for 2 tours for the Marines. So the platoon,
my son was in the Marine Corps too. Yeah,
so he was a Marine, 9 years, and he was a deputy sheriff and, a first responder, EMS. So he has served 40 years.
Well, thank him for his service. Thank you for your service. And Amstel, thank you for your service. I know you're ready to get in the game. So anyway, thanks for coming on the show today. Great story. The organization you're building is obviously making an impact. So thank you for what you're doing for our community.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching today's show. My goal for every episode is that you find a takeaway, something tangible you can use in your business today. And if you have a comment about a favorite takeaway, feel free to put it in the box below. And if you have a topic that you'd like me to bring up on the show, don't forget to let me know. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to learn more about entrepreneurship. Because at Haney Biz, we are always by your side.